What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's me, Mukala Kabongo, with the high school basketball season coming to an end. I feel it's right that I give you my top 10 moments from the 2023-2024 high school basketball season. Here we go. All right, we're going to start off with number 10. This was a non-league matchup late in February between Lynn English and Cambridge. Bulldogs was the home team. Cambridge had a lead late in this game, but the Bulldog senior Kyle Kamemben took over late in the game by scoring 9 of the final Bulldogs' 11 baskets, which included the go-ahead basket to put the Bulldogs up late in the fourth quarter. Kamemben drove to the basket. He got fouled, completed the three-point play, and gave the Bulldogs the lead, and they would not look back, and they would go on to win this one. Number 9, we go to Boston College High, where Boston College High hosted Lawrence High in a non-league matchup. This one was a really good game. BC High was in full control of this game through 3 quarters, even late in that fourth quarter. The Eagles were in control, but Lawrence mounted a comeback thanks to guard Obi Luciano, who scored 20 points in that fourth quarter to help catapult Lawrence Lancers run late in that fourth quarter. Lancers would come out with the victory. Luciano would finish with 28 points in that game. It was a big win for Lawrence High. At number 8, we go to the Boston City League matchup. This was between the top 2 teams in the Boston City League, Charlestown and Burke, with Charlestown being the host team. Late in the fourth quarter, the Townies were up 78-75 with time running down, but Denison Fanfan would get a chance to tie the game up. First, he'd missed the shot, but Burke would get the offensive rebound, and Fanfan would double clutch in the corner, throw the shot up, nail it, send the game to double overtime. It was one hell of a basketball game in a packed house at Charlestown. The Townies would eventually win in overtime, but Fanfan's game-tying 3 was one of the big moments in that game. At number 7, we are going to go to Charlestown versus Catholic Memorial at the annual Comcast Invitational. This was the championship game of the Comcast Invitational. Josiah Adamson, freshman for Catholic Memorial, he would get the ball. He's on the break, and he's going to the basket. Jalen William Crawford, a very good shot blocker for Charlestown, would try to block this one, but Adamson would not allow it as he put Williams Crawford on a poster with a big finish. Play of the day for that game, but in the end, Charlestown would come out victorious and win the Comcast Invitational. All right, we're going to the state semifinals in division number 2. This time we are at UMass Boston. We have Bedford, we have Sharon. And Bedford looked like they were in full control and was about to come out with the victory in this one, but they missed some free throws. The key free throws missed late in the game, and then Jacob McLaughlin, he would find Jackson Rava deep in the corner by the Sharon bench. Rava would throw up the shot, and it'd be nothing but net to give Sharon the lead for good. Bedford tried, but their last-ditch effort fell short. Sharon will go on to the Division II state championship game, where they would play Malden Catholic, or they would eventually fall to Malden Catholic in the Division II state championship game. But the big shot from Jackson Rava really put them in that game. That was a big shot, big time play. We are at number 5 now. We're going to go to St. Mary's for the Spartan Classic. This time it's the championship game of the Spartan Classic between the Lady Spartans and Oliver Ames. Oliver Ames would take a 49-48 3 after a three-pointer late in that fourth quarter, but the Spartans still had some timeouts left, so they called the timeout. Late in the game, Spartans would draw up a play for Jillian Roberts, who would get the ball in the corner, throw up the shot, and sink it to give the Spartans the lead and give them the Spartan Classic championship. This was their second year in a row where they won the Spartan Classic on a buzzer beater. What a game for the Lady Spartans. What a shot by Jillian. At number 4, we are going to the Comcast Invitational. This was the first round matchup between Charlestown and Needham. We were tied up late in this game, and Charlestown had about 1.6 or 1.7, 1 point something left on the game clock in regulation in a tied game. So they would draw up a play that was originally supposed to go somewhere to the basket, but Needham played it well, so they found DeMonte Van Hannigan forward for the three-pointer, and he just launched it from damn near half court, sunk it. Charlestown won it. They will end up winning the Comcast Invitational. They will end up going to win the Boston City League Tournament Championship, and then they would end up winning the state championship. So that shot by DeMonte catapulted Charlestown into that state championship run that they had this season. Big time shot by a big time player. Number 3, we are going to Everett High. We got a Greater Boston League matchup between the top 2 teams in the Greater Boston League, Lynn English and Everett. This game had many implications. The winner will be well on their way to win the Greater Boston League regular season crown. Everett trying to complete the season series sweep against the Bulldogs after defeating them earlier in the season. Man, the Crimson, they came out on fire. They built a 22-point lead, and it looked bleak for the Bulldogs, but in the second half, Lynn English would mount a comeback. They were down. They needed baskets. They got defensive stops, and when they needed a foul just to give themselves more time, Lynn English senior Paul Will Deng would come up with a big steal late in that game as the Bulldogs were only down 1. And then Paul Will would get fouled on his way to the basket. Now he needed to make 2 free throws to give the Bulldogs the victory, but first he needed to make 1 to tie the game up. Deng went to the free throw line, sinked the first one with ease. The crowd was going crazy. The Bulldogs cheering section was going wild. The fans were going wild after that first make. And then Paul Will on the second one didn't knock it down, but senior Kyle Kimembin was able to put himself in position to get the offensive rebound. It was a scramble for the ball. The ball ends up in Pierre Varys' hands, and he just sunk the basket in there. Bulldogs would go on and win the game, storm the court, talk trash to the crowd. It was one heck of a game, one hell of a basketball game between those 2 teams, and Lynn English would end up winning the Greater Boston League regular season crown because of that game. At number 2, we are going to Boston College versus Malden Catholic at Malden Catholic. Man, this game definitely lived up to the hype, and it showed why the Catholic Conference is one of the best leagues in the state. Both of these teams had state championship aspirations this season. But the Lancers, they were in full control of this game, had a double-digit lead going into the fourth quarter, but in that fourth quarter, Boston College High would make a run, and this was led by senior Ivan Yombi, who scored 17 straight points for the Eagles. And after the Eagles got a late stop, after Yombi tied the game up at 59, it would be Yombi once again who would get the ball. He'd drive to the basket, crossover, floater, shot is good. BC High wins it 61-59. The bench clears. Everyone's excited for BC High. It was one heck of a basketball game. Man, big-time players making big-time plays. Like I said, 17 straight points for Ivan Yombi in that game against Malden Catholic. One of the best games of the year. And at number 1, we are going to the Division I state semifinals game between Xaverian and number 1 seed Worcester North. Xaverian took a 2-point lead late in that game after a big shot down the stretch to give themselves the 46-44 lead, and Xaverian looked like they were on their way to victory and on their way to the state championship, but the defending champs had one last-ditch effort in them. Senior big man Tashawn Steele would get fouled on the out-of-bounds play as he was cut into the basket. Thought he was going to get the 3-point play, but the shot didn't fall, and these were 2 of the biggest free throws I've seen of any player, 2 of the biggest free throws of Steele's career to try to tie the game up and keep their season alive. Steele would get to the line. He would calmly drain the first free throw. and the second one was the biggest one of them all. He would calmly drain that one. They tied the game up at 46. The defending champs would force overtime, and in overtime they took complete control of that game and were able to go on and win and head back to the state championship for a second straight year, where they once again completed another championship season by defeating Franklin to become Division I state championship. So congratulations to Worcester North on a great championship season. And congratulations to all the players we just named on these moments, man. Basketball season was fun. I had a lot of fun this season going around the state, covering a lot of players, seeing a lot of great games, seeing a lot of great athletes on display. So congratulations to everyone on one heck of a basketball season, man. That's it. I'm out of here. Hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Kyle Kabongo signing out. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen.